Hi, I'm Nick Vitellari, and welcome to the Road to Reinvention 2018 conference. I'm here with Jeetu Patel, who is the Chief Product Officer at Box. Jeetu, thank you for being here today.
Nick, it's a pleasure to be here.
So I wanted to chat with you a little bit. You're obviously in a high growth company. You're in the midst of the digital sphere, and we're in the digital era. One of the things that people are curious about with this kind of fast change, high cadence environment, where the technology is moving at a pace that many of us are astounded by each day, how do you formulate vision in that kind of a situation?
You know, so it's interesting because the vision typically has less to do with the technology and more to do with a deep understanding of the friction points and problems that you're trying to solve. So what I've found, at least in what we do, is if you pick the right quality of the problem, the vision is actually pretty organic after that starts to happen. So if you think about what are the areas where you have pain and problems that are actually going to be meaningful enough friction points for customers that they would not only want to go out to need a solution for, but be willing to pay money for it. And it's not a vitamin, but it's a painkiller. That tends to have a pretty profound impact. And so the way that we think about doing this is, pick really high quality problems. And we have this cardinal rule internally, which is the quality of the problem that you pick is directly proportionate to the probability of the outcome of success. So the harder the problem, the higher the likelihood that you will succeed. And it's very counterintuitive.
Yes.
And the reason for that is because the harder the problem, the better the talent that you attract to solve the problem. And typically, your probability of success is directly proportionate to the quality of talent that you've attracted to the problem that stays in a team for a long enough amount of time. So the way that we typically formulate vision is pick the problem and then form very atomic teams that have a lot of autonomy to just go execute on that vision for a period of time, and then get very, very clear on the metrics of what success looks like.
Interesting.
So that's how you can make it more systematic and actually have it scale.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. So how does technology play in that? I mean, how do you sort of coordinate the technology stream in that context then?
Yes, I mean, there's two parts. I think there's the I think AI and this conference that we're in is going to highlight some of these issues as well. But AI actually is completely changing the world of product development and engineering, and it's completely transforming that world. Because in the past, if you thought about technology, you identify the problem.
Yes.
Then you would identify the functional requirements, do the technical requirements, start coding, and at some point in time, there's a very deterministic outcome of when you're going to be able to ship something.
Yes.
With AI, you actually have a very different model, which is you identify the problem, figure out whether there's enough data sets that can go out and solve the problem, figure out that there have been algorithms that have been built to go out and go against those data sets, and then you keep iterating on 2 and 3 until you can get to a solution which is accurate enough that you feel like this is actually going to work. Wow. And so it's a very non-deterministic outcome that's actually starting to move towards. But from a technology standpoint, I feel like the way that you should think about problems is we've always had technology for thousands of years. It's just that the shape and form of technology keeps changing. But the way that we do it at Box is pick the right problem, pick the right team. And so the way that we think about this is there's a 6-part kind of sequence that we think about. Number one most important thing when you're thinking about solving a problem is timing. You don't control timing, but it's the most important. Number 2 after timing is market. Can you go after a big enough market that you can attack piece by piece? Number 3 is the quality of the team. Timing trumps market, market trumps team.
Interesting.
Once you have team, then number 4 is product. You have a great experience. You can actually have an emotion that can be evoked out of your customers with. Number 5 is make sure that you have the right brand, where you have the permission to play in that problem space. And then number 6 is distribution. And in each one of those, timing trumps market, market trumps team, team trumps product, product trumps brand, brand trumps distribution. But if you don't have all 6, you don't build a great outcome.
Wow, that's fantastic. Very, very helpful. So back to vision again.
Yeah.
So if there was one thing you could share with leaders, the most important thing about vision in the context of obviously a new product mindset, right? Yeah. It's pretty profound actually. What would it be?
For us, it tends to be how you structure and configure teams. And literally most of the magic happens if you've got the right composition of skills on a team, if the team is small enough, and if they've got a single mission that's aligned. The moment you actually have one person that's focusing on two problems, your probability of success goes down exponentially. If you have a team of 8 or 10 people, we always try to keep teams with what Amazon calls 2 pizza teams, 8 or 10
yes,
people.
Yes.
So keep the teams that are small, have a very atomic decision-making kind of process so that they can make the decision, and then make sure that they're all aligned to the same mission with the same set of metrics. And if you do that right, then your vision organically kind of comes out of the team rather than having to have it be dictated from the top down. Very few times do I think in the next era will top-down visions end up working.
Wow.
Like you'll have to make sure that it's going to be much more organic.
Boy, that's a very key insight there. And that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense. Wow.
We'll find out if we're right or wrong in the next 10 years.
Well, Jeetu, thanks so much for
Thank you,
for being with us today and sharing with us. Very much appreciate it.
It's an honor.
That's Jeetu Patel from Box, and thank you for your attention today.
Thank you.